Hey, Frugal Force, it's your boy Frugal. I'm doing this review a little different than usual. It's just more off the cuff, not as much prep and things like that, okay? And this is Croak #1 from Alterna Comics. It was only $1.50, and you can tell right off the bat it's going to be a dark comic. It says, Deep in the woods, their worst nightmare come to life. And this is a mature book, so no little Frugal on this one, okay? That's just not going to happen. So it is what it is. Now, going into this, here we go. This was 2017, so the other issues are probably out. I haven't gotten them yet. I need to check those out. But we start, and it's a very dark book. Got three teens that are taking a trip to go camping, if you will, and only one of them seems to have camping experience. So that's interesting. And you know, it's really with the tone of the book as well with the characters. And that's what I really like about this book is you can really tell the tone of the characters. There's three kids. When I say kids, they're teenagers because they talk like teens. They're expressive like teens. They get aggravated and agitated very easily like teens. And so they're chatting. One brings their video camera for a school project because they say it's the only class they're good at. So anyway, they get to where they're going to get. And as I said, they're not really experienced campers, maybe except one. And you could tell when they take cheap shots at each other, sometimes cheap shots hurt. And I love the facial expressions in this book. It really tells a lot based on the facial expressions. And here's by the way, this is important, they leave their tent. They forgot their tent. But the facial expressions are really good in this book. If you can see, look at that. They're like kids, they razz each other and stuff. And sometimes those shots hurt. And you can really see that. So anyway, they're off, and the art's really dark because it's dark outside, makes sense. The title of the story is What Did You Do? Leading into that definitely has an impact of the story. And now I'm going to take a little moment and show who did this book, give them a little credit here. Here we are, the story by Cody Andrew Sosa. The colors, Chris O'Halloran. There we are, the art was Francesco Inquanta, which I probably butchered your name. And I'm not going to say the lettering designer, DZ, whatever your last name is, I apologize, as well as editing with Dan Shepard. Because, I guess I said it somewhat okay. Usually, I probably still butchered the names. So they're out in the night. It's taken them longer than they expected to get to their camp area. So they got a little lost what it's showing there. Once again, you could see how when they quip at each other, how it affects each other and things like that. Once again, is one of the great things about this book for that. So it has a lot of realism in the characters. And I think that's one of the best parts about this book so far. The characters are done with realism. So anyway, Case File Arkham, great book if you haven't checked that out. They end up realizing they didn't have the tent, and so they decide to stay anyway because it's too late to go heading back and trying to find it. So they set up a campfire. And, campfires remind me when I was younger. I have a really good friend. He's still a friend today, so that's a lot of years. And when we were teenagers, we would go for bike trips. And, like take a 20-ouncer of Mountain Dew with us and a bedroll and a backpack. And we would ride all day long. And then at night, wherever we ended up, we'd just go off the side of the road into the woods or something and set up a little campfire to keep warm for the night if need be. We'd just sleep under the stars, and then we'd head off the next day. And during that time, of course, you tell stories and things. And that's what happens in this issue. They tell stories, like youth do, and they try to scare each other, and they call each other on the bull crap. Once again, not a kid-friendly book. But during that, they tell them the stories. They, all of a sudden they hear something, a shriek, a noise, a croak sound, if you will. Okay, and then here we go. We see this kind of something in the woods, and they look out for it, and all of a sudden Aubrey takes off. Aubrey's scared, so she's going and running. And anyway, she gets caught up by this thing. Right, that thing there seems to catch her. It grabs her, and she goes down. There goes the camera. So the camera's recording this. So the creature guy, whatever it is on top of her. She grabs a rock and just cracks that sucker, right? And there's the camera recording it all, which is really cool. Puts down the rock. Now remember the title of this book? Her other friend catches up to Aubrey. And, Aubrey, what did you do? Look at that face of fear there of, oh no, what happened? And I think you figured out what happens. Because what do you do during, nighttime stories and things? You try to scare each other, right? Well, their friend Colin, he yells, and we realize she accidentally must have bashed Colin. So one of their friends there, Colin, got bashed by a rock. He is not in good shape. that's just the intro to this. We also then see this creature that hears it, right? And that, remember, something made a croak noise. So the next issue is Dead End. I mean, that's Croak #1. So the story fits. Deep in the woods, nightmares come to life. But remember, the story of it was really telling, and it was really, well done. The characterization was done well. You do see. There's the title of the story, part 1 of 3. What did you do? She took a rock and bashed her friend's head in. Is what she did. But there's definitely something else going on. And to see what happens, you have to get issue 2. I don't have issue 2 yet, but I'm definitely looking to checking out. So if you want a dark comic, this might be for you. At first I was thinking, okay, is this going to be like the Blair Witch? And I was especially the first few pages, I was like, oh, okay. But then, it developed into something more. How would you react? How would your characterization be if you realize you just accidentally possibly killed one of your closest friends? On accident, think it was somebody else. And the characterization in this book has been very good. And I think the art has that very dark tone, and that's fitting too. The characterization is really what's selling it for me. I want to see how those characters react in issue 2 to what happened and how they responded. What's happening next? That whole Croak deal. All right, so once again, that's Alterna Comics, Croak, issue #1 for $1.50. I would check it out. If they don't have it at your comic shop, maybe request it or go online and snag it. Well, thank you for watching this video. Please be sure to hit like, subscribe, hit that hit that notifications bell, okay, and spread the news to your friends and things like that. Also, if you want to help the channel, we have a Patreon link down below where you can subscribe for as little as $1 a month. That helps us buy more comic books and things. Right now, we're saving up for a new computer to do better interviews with indie talent, and so we're working on that. So that helps support the channel. Also, we have CaptainFrugal.redbubble.com if you want Captain Frugal merch. All right, well, let me know. Have you read this book? And if you have, what was your thoughts on it? Or do you want to check this book out? Once again, let me know in the comment section. That'd be greatly appreciated. And until next time, keep it frugal.